Throughout history, warriors have shaped the destiny of nations and the world itself. In this exploration, we delve into the lives of 10 warriors who changed the course of history. These figures fought for ideals, freedom, or the survival of their people, altering the trajectory of human civilization. Join us as we uncover their stories, triumphs, and lasting legacies. First up, Alexander the Great, a name synonymous with ambition and military genius. By his early 30s, he'd built an empire from Greece to India. Alexander wasn't just about brute force, he was a brilliant strategist who adapted to different terrains and enemies. He spread Greek culture, creating Hellenism, which impacted art, architecture, philosophy, and language. Alexander founded cities like Alexandria, Egypt, and understood that true power was about conquering minds and hearts. His empire was short-lived, but his impact on the world continues to echo through the ages. Fast forward to 15th century France and the 100 Years' War. Enter Joan of Arc, a young peasant girl who became a symbol of French resistance. Armed with faith, Joan led the French army to improbable victories against the English. Captured and burned at the stake at 19, Joan became a martyr and symbol of French courage. Her story reminds us that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. Joan of Arc showed that one person's unwavering belief can change the course of history. Hold on to your horses, folks, because we're galloping across 13th century Asia with Genghis Khan. Born into a world of tribal warfare, Genghis Khan united the warring Mongol tribes. He led his Mongol hordes across Asia, conquering vast lands from China to Eastern Europe. Genghis Khan was a shrewd ruler who understood trade, communication, and religious tolerance. His empire fostered cultural exchange and technological innovation, connecting East and West. Genghis Khan's story is a reminder that even the most ruthless conquerors can leave a complex and lasting legacy. Chapter 4. Sun Tzu, the strategist whose wisdom transcends time. Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War, believed the best way to win a war was to avoid it. His philosophy emphasized knowing your enemy, knowing yourself, and choosing your battles wisely. Sun Tzu's teachings have influenced military leaders, CEOs, and sports coaches for centuries. His ideas transcend time, culture, and the battlefield, offering strategic insights still relevant today. Sun Tzu's Art of War is a testament to the enduring power of strategic thinking. Chapter 5. Spartacus, the gladiator who dared to challenge Rome. Spartacus, sold into slavery, ignited a rebellion against the Roman Empire in 73 BC. He led an army of slaves, outmaneuvering and defeating Roman legions for 2 years. Spartacus became a symbol of hope and a champion of the oppressed. The rebellion was ultimately crushed, and Spartacus died, fighting for freedom. Though unsuccessful, Spartacus's defiance exposed cracks in Rome's mighty facade. His story reminds us that even the most powerful empires can be challenged by the human spirit's yearning for freedom. Chapter 6. Saladin, the Sultan who fought with honor in the Age of Crusades. Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, emerged as a beacon of chivalry and honor during the Crusades. He united Muslim forces and achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Hattin in 1187. After his victory, Saladin allowed the defeated Christian inhabitants of Jerusalem to leave peacefully. His legacy is one of chivalry, diplomacy, and interfaith understanding. Saladin reminds us that true leadership involves compassion and respect, even in the heat of battle. Fast forward to the turn of the 19th century and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon's early life was marked by a mix of privilege and struggle. He attended military school in mainland France, where he quickly distinguished himself as a brilliant strategist and tactician. Napoleon rose from humble beginnings to become the Emperor of France, conquering much of Europe. His military campaigns were swift and decisive, earning him a reputation as one of history's greatest military minds. By 1804, he had crowned himself emperor, solidifying his control over France and its territories. He was a military genius and a master of propaganda, using his victories to fuel French nationalism. His ability to inspire his troops and the French public was unparalleled. Through a series of brilliant campaigns, he expanded French influence across Europe, defeating coalitions of European powers that sought to contain him. Napoleon implemented sweeping reforms, including the Napoleonic Code, revolutionizing education and governance. The Napoleonic Code laid the foundation for modern legal systems in many countries, emphasizing equality before the law and the protection of property rights. His educational reforms aimed to create a meritocratic society, where individuals could rise based on talent and achievement. His ambition led to his downfall, with the ill-fated invasion of Russia marking the beginning of his end. The harsh Russian winter and scorched earth tactics devastated his grand army, leading to a catastrophic retreat. This failure weakened his grip on power and emboldened his enemies. Napoleon's legacy is complex, showing how one person can reshape the political landscape of an entire continent. His impact on Europe was profound, influencing the course of history for generations. Despite his ultimate defeat, Napoleon's reforms and military strategies continue to be studied and admired to this day. Chapter 8. Boudica, the Celtic queen who defied Roman might. Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe, refused to bow to Roman rule in the 1st century AD. Her defiance was not just a personal vendetta, but a symbol of resistance against the oppressive Roman Empire. The Romans had underestimated the fierce determination of the Celtic tribes, and Boudica's leadership became a beacon of hope for many. After her kingdom was annexed and her family brutalized, Boudica ignited a rebellion against Rome. The Romans had seized her lands and subjected her people to harsh treatments. This act of aggression fueled her desire for vengeance and justice. She rallied her tribe and neighboring tribes, uniting them under a common cause. Her army sacked Roman settlements including Londinium, sending shockwaves through the empire. The destruction of Londinium was a significant blow to the Romans, showcasing the might and fury of the Celtic warriors. Boudica's forces were relentless, and their attacks were marked by strategic brilliance and sheer ferocity. The rebellion was ultimately crushed, but Boudica's legend lived on. Despite their initial successes, the Celtic forces were eventually overpowered by the well-organized Roman legions. The final battle was brutal, and many lives were lost. However, Boudica's courage and determination left an indelible mark on history. Her story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who fight for freedom. Boudica's legacy is not just one of rebellion but of resilience and the unyielding quest for justice. Her name became synonymous with the struggle for liberty and the fight against tyranny. Boudica reminds us that the human spirit's yearning for freedom can never be truly extinguished. Her story continues to inspire generations, reminding us of the power of resistance and the importance of standing up against oppression. The legend of Boudica is a powerful reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the fight for freedom is always worth waging. Chapter 9. Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general who challenged Rome's might. Hannibal, the Carthaginian general, marched an army complete with elephants across the Alps into Roman territory. This daring move was unprecedented and showcased his boldness and strategic genius. The journey was treacherous, with harsh weather and difficult terrain, but Hannibal's determination and leadership kept his army moving forward. The sight of war elephants in the Alps must have been a terrifying and awe-inspiring spectacle for the Romans. For over 15 years, Hannibal wreaked havoc in Italy, outmaneuvering and crushing Roman legions. His tactical brilliance was evident in battles such as the Battle of Cannae, where he encircled and annihilated a much larger Roman force. Hannibal's ability to adapt and innovate on the battlefield made him a formidable opponent, and his campaigns in Italy left a lasting mark on Roman military history. Despite never tasting defeat on Italian soil, Hannibal was forced to return to Carthage to defend his homeland. The political situation in Carthage and the threat of Roman invasion necessitated his return. His departure from Italy marked the end of his campaign, but his impact on the Roman psyche and military tactics was profound. He was eventually defeated at the Battle of Zama, ending his dreams of Carthaginian dominance. The battle was a decisive Roman victory, led by Scipio Africanus, who had studied Hannibal's tactics and used them against him. This defeat marked the end of the Second Punic War and the beginning of Rome's dominance over the Mediterranean. Hannibal's legacy lived on, inspiring military leaders with his audacious strategies and tactical brilliance. Generals such as Napoleon Bonaparte and George Patton studied his campaigns and admired his ability to achieve victory against overwhelming odds. Hannibal's innovative use of terrain, surprise, and psychological warfare set a standard for military strategy that is still studied today. His story is a reminder of unwavering determination in the face of overwhelming odds. Hannibal's life and campaigns are a testament to the power of leadership, innovation, and the human spirit's capacity to overcome adversity. his name remains synonymous with military genius and the relentless pursuit of one's goals. Chapter 10. Miyamoto Musashi, the swordsman who elevated martial arts to an art form. Musashi, a legendary swordsman, strategist, and philosopher, lived during a time of great upheaval in Japan. He mastered the two-sword style of fighting and developed his own philosophy of swordsmanship. Musashi's teachings, detailed in the Book of Five Rings, emphasized strategy, psychology, and spirituality. His insights into strategy and self-discipline are still relevant today. Musashi reminds us that true mastery requires a holistic approach and a dedication to self-improvement. From ancient battlefields to the heart of empires, these warriors have left an indelible mark on history. Their stories inspire and remind us of the profound impact one individual can have on the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and valor. May their stories inspire you to embrace your own potential and leave your mark on the world.